Elon Musk. He runs multiple companies simultaneously like he's playing a real-life video game on expert mode. Tesla makes electric cars that can drive themselves. SpaceX launches rockets that land backwards. And he bought Twitter for $44 billion. Just to rename it X, his net worth fluctuates more than a cryptocurrency during a market crash. He tweets memes at 3 a.m. and somehow moves entire stock markets with a single emoji. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his garage, selling books online, and turned it into everything store that delivers packages faster than you can change your mind about buying them. He stepped down as CEO to focus on space tourism because apparently being the richest person on Earth wasn't enough. His rocket looks like something a teenager would draw, but it actually works. Amazon Web Services now powers half the internet. So he basically owns the cloud. Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft and made personal computers accessible to everyone. Then spent decades being the world's richest person. He stepped away from Microsoft to become a full-time philanthropist, giving away billions to fight diseases and improve education. His foundation has probably saved more lives than any superhero movie. He predicted a global pandemic years before. COVID-19 hit, but somehow people still didn't listen to him. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook in his Harvard dorm room to rate classmates' attractiveness and accidentally built the world's largest social network. He bought Instagram and WhatsApp for billions before they could compete with Facebook. Now he's obsessed with the metaverse and spent $13 billion trying to convince people to live in virtual reality. He testifies before Congress more often than most politicians run for office. Larry Page and Sergey Brin to Stanford PhD students who organized the world's information and made it universally accessible through Google. They created an algorithm so good at finding things that Googling became a verb in every language. Google now knows more about you than your therapist, your doctor, and your mother combined. They stepped back from day-to-day operations to work on moonshot projects like flying cars and life extension. Larry Ellison built Oracle into one of the world's largest software companies by selling databases to other businesses. He's known for his expensive tastes, owning multiple mansions, yachts, and even an entire Hawaiian island. He's been friends with Steve Jobs and enemies with almost everyone else in Silicon Valley at some point. His company's software runs in the background of most major corporations, making him rich every time someone enters data anywhere. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, became a billionaire through old-fashioned investing and compound interest rather than creating technology. He buys undervalued companies and holds them forever, making money while others panic about market fluctuations. He still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 and drives modest cars despite being worth over $100 billion. His annual shareholder letters are read like gospel by investors worldwide. Steve Jobs, posthumous co-founded Apple, got fired from his own company, then returned to save it from bankruptcy and turn it into the world's most valuable corporation. He didn't invent smartphones, tablets, or digital music players, but he made them so elegant that everyone else's products looked like garbage. His presentations became legendary events where he'd reveal one more thing that would change entire industries. Apple's current success still follows. The playbook he created decades ago, Michael Dell started Dell Computer in his University of Texas dorm room by assembling PCs from parts and selling them directly to customers. He cut out the middleman and revolutionized how computers were sold, making them cheaper and faster to deliver. He took Dell private for $25 billion, then took it public again, basically buying and selling his own company. His direct-to-consumer model influenced everything from cars to mattresses. Jack Ma founded Alibaba in his apartment in China and turned it into the Amazon of Asia, connecting millions of small businesses with consumers worldwide. He was an English teacher who failed multiple job interviews before becoming one of China's richest people. Alibaba's Singles Day shopping event generates more sales in 24 hours than Black Friday and Cyber Monday combined. He mysteriously disappeared from public view after criticizing Chinese financial regulators, then reappeared months later like nothing happened. Mark Benioff created Salesforce and pioneered software as a service, convincing businesses to rent software instead of buying it. He turned customer relationship management into a cloud-based subscription service that companies can't live without. He's also known for his philanthropy and activism, often clashing with other tech leaders over social issues. His company's annual conference feels more like a rock concert than a business event. Reed Hastings co-founded Netflix as a DVD mail service to compete with Blockbuster, then killed his own business model by streaming movies online. He destroyed the entire video rental industry and changed how the world watches entertainment. Netflix now spends billions creating original content and has turned binge-watching into a global phenomenon. He stepped down as CEO after building Netflix into a verb that means watching TV shows obsessively. Daniel Ek founded Spotify and convinced record labels to let him stream their music for almost nothing, then convinced consumers to pay monthly subscriptions for unlimited access. He single-handedly saved the music industry from piracy, while simultaneously destroying CD sales forever. Spotify now decides which songs become hits through its algorithms and playlists. Musicians love and hate him equally because he made music accessible but pays them fractions of pennies per play. Evan Spiegel created Snapchat because he thought photos should disappear after being viewed, accidentally inventing ephemeral social media. He turned down Facebook's $3 billion acquisition offer when he was barely 25 years old, proving that sometimes rejecting massive offers pays off. Snapchat pioneered disappearing messages, face filters, and stories format that every other social platform copied. His company went public and made him a billionaire despite losing money for years. Brian Chesky co-founded Airbnb when he couldn't afford rent and decided to let strangers sleep on air mattresses in his apartment. He turned the sharing economy into a global phenomenon that made everyone's home a potential hotel. Airbnb now has more rooms available than the world's largest hotel chains combined, without owning a single building. Traditional hotels hate him, but travelers love saving money and staying in unique places. Travis Kalanick co-founded Uber and turned taxi hailing into an app-based service that operates in nearly every major city worldwide. He disrupted the transportation industry so aggressively that taxi drivers protested in the streets and governments tried to ban his service. His company burned through billions of dollars while growing rapidly and fighting legal battles in dozens of countries. He was eventually forced out as CEO due to various scandals, but Uber survived and went public. Jan Koum co-founded WhatsApp after being rejected for jobs at Facebook and Twitter, then sold it to Facebook for $19 billion. He immigrated to the US from Ukraine as a teenager and cleaned floors at a grocery store before becoming a billionaire. WhatsApp became the world's most popular messaging app by focusing on simple, reliable communication without ads. His rags to riches story proves that sometimes the best revenge is massive success. Bobby Murphy co-founded Snapchat with Evan Spiegel and became a billionaire by age 26, while staying completely out of the spotlight. He handles the technical side while Spiegel gets all the media attention, proving that sometimes being the quiet partner pays just as well. His Stanford computer science background built the infrastructure that handles billions of disappearing messages daily. Most people don't know his name. Despite using his creation every day, Drew Houston founded Dropbox because he kept forgetting his USB drive and needed a way to access files from anywhere. He turned cloud storage into something so simple that even technophobic grandparents could sync photos across devices. Dropbox survived competition from Google, Microsoft, and Apple by focusing on reliability over flashy features. His solution to a personal problem became essential infrastructure for millions of businesses and individuals worldwide. Like, subscribe, or leave a comment, or all three. Either way, thanks for watching.